Halloween, everybody! Today I want to talk about an interesting topic. Well, I don't think it's that interesting anymore. It's rather annoying. Cultural appropriation. Basically, it means that any white person cannot dress up as any other race because it's racist. Remember that one time when Hillary Duff and her boyfriend went to a Halloween party and the boyfriend dressed up as an Indian? Remember the time the girl was getting ready for her school prom and she went out in a very nice Chinese-themed dress? Do you know what happened to them? Oh man, the PC cops and the SJWs, they went ballistic over the outfits, saying that it's cultural appropriation. What you're doing is racist. You should be wearing that. It's really messed up on how the PC community will just go after anyone who will wear just one outfit one day of the year or even one day of their freaking lifetime. Meanwhile, you have people like Sean King and Rachel Dolezal, and the PC people are like, oh, they're great, they're so brave, we love them very much. I'm pretty sure that's a good example of hypocrisy, don't you think? And just having your picture taken and shown all around is bad. Now, just even expressing your opinion over something like this is now bad. As in, get your ass fired bad. Like what happened to Megyn Kelly when she simply said that there was nothing wrong with it at that time. And now, I just want to take this time to check out a video where Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon, they expressed their thoughts on what Megyn Kelly said.
The answer to the question of how a segment on Halloween costumes can go wrong is when you make it about blackface being okay. Here's NBC's Megyn Kelly.
Is it just me, or does Cuomo look like he's scared, like, all the time?
What is racist? Because so truly, you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface on Halloween, or a black person who puts on whiteface for Halloween. Like, back when I was a kid, that was okay as long as you were dressing up as like a character. There was a controversy on The Real Housewives of New York with Luann, as she dressed as Diana Ross, and she made her skin look darker than it really is, and people said that that was racist. And I don't know, I thought, like, who doesn't love Diana Ross? She wants to look like Diana Ross for one day. I don't know how, like, that got racist on Halloween.
White people putting on blackface and black people putting on whiteface are very different things.
It's just a Halloween costume for one day of the fucking year.
Kelly issued an apology to co-workers saying, I realize now that such behavior is indeed wrong, and I'm sorry. The history of blackface in our culture is abhorrent. The wound's too deep. I've never been a PC kind of person, but I understand that we need to be more sensitive in this day and age.
A great example of a cuck. However, that apology was not good enough, so NBC told her to get out.
D. Lemon.
I swear, someone must have told Don Lemon to make that face, like, okay, here's your motivation. Someone is being racist, and I need you to look upset, like very upset. That's right, puff those cheeks, look really sad, tilt your head, a little bit more, a little bit more. There you go, perfect! That is a good example of a sad person. Keep that, this is gold.
How much time do you have, Chris?
I don't know, but you're eating into it with your silence right now.
Because I got so much going on here. Listen, I know Megyn. We do this. Sometimes you say stupid things when you're live.
Stupid? What do you mean, stupid?
But I'm just going to be honest. Megyn is 47 years old. She's our age. There has never been a time in her 47 years that blackface has been acceptable.
You don't know that. You weren't living in the same neighborhood that Megyn was in. I'm sure there were people in her neighborhood who did blackface and it was harmless. Like she said, it was not a big deal. Maybe to you, it was probably a big deal wherever you lived, but to her, probably not. So how would you know?
There were all white people on that panel.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
There were no African Americans, no people of color there to say, hey, Megyn, not cool.
But what about the audience? When she said that it was not a big deal, you didn't hear the audience freaking out saying, oh, you're so full of shit, Megyn, boo! No, you didn't hear that. Because probably to them, it really wasn't a big deal. It was a costume that you wear one day out of the fucking year. One day!
I wonder how much diversity she has on her staff. I don't know. I'm not there. But I would imagine there's not a lot because people would have informed her.
Well, that's a fancy way of saying shut the hell up, followed by a threat.
This is what people of the larger culture don't understand about racism and about privilege.
Oh, trust me, Don. We've heard a lot about racism and privilege, especially from your end, because you will not shut up about it!
I don't know of many black people who are trying to be white people for Halloween or dressing up as white people.
If the blacks want to dress up as a white person, then go ahead. I'm not going to be offended. And neither should anybody else. Again, it's a costume you wear for one day in the fucking year. That is it. And you're just showing your appreciation of whatever character you're dressed up as. No big deal.
But I know a lot of people who do it for black people. She mentioned Luann, who I happen to know. I know Luann feels bad about the Diana Ross thing.
Because she's probably been swarmed in replies from various SJWs just bitching about her costume. I mean, these people really need to shut the fuck up.
It wasn't that Luann wanted to look like Diana Ross. She put on a wig that looked like Marge Simpson, right? Over-characterizing Diana Ross.
Okay, so she went a little overboard with the hair. I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, it looks funny. But, you know, she's still showing her appreciation of Diana Ross. Diana Ross has big hair, and she just overemphasized it. No big deal. And yet, meh.
And there was no need even in that to put on dark face. Megan is not aware of the history of this country.
Oh, get fucked, Don. Fuck you and your history. Guess what? This isn't the past. You really need to stop living in the fucking past. And you know what's more messed up? This fucker here probably appreciates Rachel Dolezal, a white woman who thinks she's a black woman, and she goes beyond to look like a black woman, getting her skin dark and getting an afro. And you support her. Fucking hypocrite.
It's not a one-off. Remember the whole black Santa Claus thing, which was offensive?
Probably to you, Don. You'd be the kind of person who would be offended by this. I forever don't care. My black friend would not care. No one cares.
I think people really need to educate themselves about this particular issue, and we need to realize in this culture that some people do have a privilege where they don't have to think about it. It does not exist to them. Now, let me be honest.
That is a very rare word coming from your mouth.
In this business, I'm the only person who looks like me in prime time. I'm a unicorn.
You said it, not me.
Megan has taken over for what used to be an African-American woman and a black man who had that slot.
Oh, boo-hoo!
And who actually did better than her in the ratings, and who in this situation would have said it is never okay to do blackface. There would not be this controversy. So diversity is key. The people who are hiring people like Megan, like me, and you should realize how important diversity is, how important it is for their talent to know the history of this country and not say stupid things like, it's okay, it's always been okay for people to dress up and as long as they're honoring and memorializing people. It's never okay.
Oh my God, Don, you are such a goddamn snowflake. It's just, As for Megan getting that time slot, whose decision was that to give her that time slot? The fucking network. The SJW network. So why don't you go cry to them? And you know, I'm getting really sick of this diversity shit. I don't care what skin color you are. It really does fall under how you qualify for a certain job. I mean, it's like the whole FAA situation. Instead of hiring someone to do flight control who's very well qualified, you'd rather just get a black person in there who's got maybe minimal education on how to do flight control. And you know what? That will cause like many plane crashes, but who cares? We hired a black person. We filled the quota. Please don't hate us, SJWs. Don't hate us, please. If I had a business and I was hiring people, I'm going to go hire people who have good qualifications, not by their fucking skin color, because skin color means nothing to me.
I hear you on it. I don't disagree with anything you said.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
It's all spot on, especially about the hiring and the atmosphere that you work in and having people around who can help you understand things that maybe you don't. I don't know that that's the explanation here.
This cultural appropriation thing is getting way out of hand. I mean, now we're at the point now where someone has an opinion and they say it whether at their job or just on TV with millions of people to see, they immediately get fucked. This nonsense has got to stop. And there's a good chance that my video here is going to be, I'll probably get a strike for this, but, I don't care. I'm going to voice my opinion on this. I really need to speak out and say, enough of this cultural appropriation. Just enough! So, until next time, you guys out there, dress up whatever you want. Have fun. It's the one day of the year where you get to be whatever you want to be. Have a safe and fun Halloween, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.
So when ghosts and goblins by the score, ring your bell or pound your door. Better not be stingy or your nightmares will come true. Boom.